Oh, what up, everybody?
What's up, everybody?
Welcome to the sixth episode of PCFP. We doubled up today because we didn't put one up last week.
Yeah, we're a little behind, so that's why we kind of look the same from last week to this week.
And so we did two videos today, and this is the sixth one. And a lot of stuff has been in development just over last week and this week. So we have more than enough topics to cover both videos.
Please, like we say at the beginning of every video, continue to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube and Facebook channels. And we hope that you enjoy. Again, I'm Jalen.
And I'm Brandon.
So last week I started, but I'm going to let Brandon go ahead and kick it off this week.
Yep. I'm sure we all heard yesterday, which was the 27th, Bobbi Kristina, Whitney Houston, and Bobby Brown's daughter. She passed away, and she's been in a coma
Very sad.
for months.
Since January, actually.
Yep. And it is sad, and I think finally she can rest in peace. I think it was kind of selfish of the family to keep her alive this long. Because she's been brain dead.
Yeah, she's been brain dead for a long time.
And I can't speak for everybody, and I know miracles do happen, but me personally, I feel like if I'm brain dead and I'm gonna be in a situation where somebody has to feed me and change my diaper and all that kind of stuff, like, just let me go. But that's just how I feel about that.
I feel the same way.
And it's very sad. A lot of celebrities have been giving their condolences and all of those type of things. And the family wants the death to be ruled as a homicide. Now, we suspect that they want to indict Bobbi Kristina's boyfriend. Well, they never found a marriage certificate, so they don't know whether or not they were married. And so we think that's where this is going. And I feel like there's no reason to sue him, because if they were not legally married, he's not entitled to any of the money. So I feel like, and suing him isn't going to bring Bobbi Kristina back.
I was thinking the same thing, and I feel like, honestly, I felt like Bobbi Kristina, it's not like she just got on drugs, before 2015. She's been dealing off and on with drug related things for quite some time now, and especially after her mother, the late Whitney Houston, passed. That's hard to cope with, especially not only that being your mother, but all of America was grieving when Whitney Houston passed. She was a great icon. Yeah. So that's a lot of pressure on her. And then there was some things where she was supposed to be in the Whitney tribute movie. So there's a lot of things that's been going on behind the scenes. But I feel like ultimately, unfortunately too, Bobbi Kristina, I don't think it was the boyfriend's fault that she went into that state. And the family can't put everything that happened to Bobbi Kristina on that boy. I don't think that's right. I feel like that the process should go through, and they'll find that she was brain dead and everything, but to rule it a homicide that he killed her, I don't necessarily agree with that.
No, and I feel like that's the same thing people tried to do with Bobby. It's like nobody was forcing Whitney Houston to take drugs. He didn't have a gun to her head telling her to sniff the crack, oh no, crack was too wet for them. Whatever she was doing, but yeah, it's just sad. And she's with her mother now, so I'm sure that's the best part about all of this.
Okay. So I'm going to move on to something else, another topic. So I want to talk about Serena Williams. So a couple Saturdays ago, she won the Wimbledon, if you haven't been keeping up in the tennis world, which is basically the most famed trophy in tennis. And she's won it now 5 times, which is an amazing feat in itself. And she holds all Grand Slam titles, and all of them at least once. And that's a feat that's hardly been done by any tennis players, let alone women tennis players. So Serena Williams is one of the greatest tennis players to ever play. However, there was a lot of media backlash about her winning, saying that her body and everything was even more talked about than her actual win in the victory. People were saying that she looked like a man. She was too strong looking to play tennis. She was too built. People were saying because she was black, she won because she has bigger arms and she can hit stronger. Basically, the thing was people said that she looked like a man. Some people were calling her something like monkey or something like that. So it was, it was kind of frustrating for Serena to go through all of that. And yeah, so that's what's been happening for the last couple of weeks. But that's actually been going on her whole career. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think, like you said, it's been going on her whole career. So I don't think she was really surprised by it. I think she's probably used to it by now. And that doesn't make it right, but
right. I do think she's
that doesn't take her winning away.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I do feel like either way, she's always gonna be one of the greatest tennis players to play. And there are many men that are very attracted to Serena Williams openly. Celebrities, regular people. I personally think Serena Williams is beautiful, in my opinion. So I don't see where people come with that. I like Serena Williams, but
well, she doesn't look like a man. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't look like a man.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll give her that.
But yeah. So you can go ahead and go with the next one.
The next topic is it was actually announced yesterday also that Mariah Carey will be getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. They're going to have the ceremony August 3rd, I believe. And honestly, it's a long time coming. I thought she had had one.
I thought that happened a couple years ago or something.
And not taking anything away from her, but when you hear about people like Jennifer Hudson, who came out not too long ago, and Mariah Carey came out in 1990, we all know she's the best-selling female artist of all time. She has more #1 songs than anybody. You think that she would have had one?
Yeah, I feel like all the accolades and things that Mariah Carey has done, this should have been done maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Right.
In my eyes,
yeah,
I feel like Mariah Carey is definitely one of the best female artists to hit the stage, especially in the last 20, 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't know is that they have to pay for the upkeep of their own star. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Well, she has enough money to,
Yeah, but I don't know. Something's weird about that.
That is odd, though.
Like, I got to pay to keep the star y'all gave me up. Okay. But like you said, yeah, she's worth $600 million. That's nothing.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. That's 3. I got another one that I want to talk about. So if you've been paying attention to any trending topic in any social media outlet, you will find that Meek Mill's versus Drake has been the talk of the talk for the last week and a half now. So this is a quick synopsis of everything going on. Meek Mills came out on Twitter and said that Drake didn't shout him out on his album, and people are comparing him to the greatest rappers of all time, but he doesn't write any of his own stuff. That's what Meek said. And actually, Funkmaster Flex, a famous, renowned DJ, released an uncut version of Drake's song 10 Bands, which was done by Quentin Miller, which is Drake's supposed ghostwriter. And it's actually very, very similar. The lyrics are all the same in the first verse, but Drake changes up a lot of things after that as far as the chorus and other verses. But yeah, it's very heated right now. Drake actually just put out a diss song called Charged Up about Meek Mill, I think 2 or 3 days ago. So that's going around. But I feel like. Well, actually, I'll let you go first. What are your thoughts on everything that's going on between Meek Mills and Drake?
Um, First off, Drake isn't one of my favorite rappers, but I will say this: he is too established.
Too established
at
for
this point for it to matter.
Yeah.
It's not gonna stop his concerts from selling out.
Right.
It's not gonna stop his record sales. I feel like teenagers today, who are the ones who still buy music, they don't care who writes it.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah, they don't.
Because when I was a teenager, I didn't. Like, I don't. It's not gonna matter. As opposed to Meek Mill, who is fairly new. Yeah, I just feel like it's not gonna matter.
I feel like Drake is well established in the rap game. Anything he does at this point is usually going to be a hit. Drake makes good records. It doesn't matter if you're a fan or not. He's going to be on the radio. He's going to be on all the top 100 lists of songs.
Yeah.
But plus Drake's net worth is like $75 million right now. Meek's is like $3 million. So, Meek's got some catching up to do. Not saying that Meek's not a good rapper or anything like that.
Right.
But when you're gonna come for somebody like Drake,
yeah,
his following is pretty huge. So
yeah.
But I will say that the lyrics from Quentin Miller, but Drake does put all of on all his songs, he puts Quentin Miller in the credits. You can look that up and you'll see his name as a co-producer for the songs, co-writer type thing.
Yeah.
But
that's another thing I was gonna say. I've never known Drake to say he writes every single.
He's
thing.
never said it. Yeah. And Drake does make sure he credits everybody that produces with him, but he changes up a lot of stuff. But man, that first verse in the song, if you listen to Quentin Miller's version and Drake's, they were like identical. I was like, come on now, Drake. That's like the exact same thing, man. But Drake's too well established to take any loss from this per se. So it is fun, I guess, to watch as a trending topic. But
I feel like Meek Mill and Nicki Minaj last Friday were just on the internet typing away. They did nothing on Friday except feud with people.
Like, you can't say that. Some celebrities don't ever get on social media and talk back to fans and things, but
they stay on.
They like follow.
They
people.
Perfect for each other.
They follow people back. They will tweet you back in a heartbeat. Like, it's almost like they're not even famous. Like, they're just regular people almost. The way they talk back to people. But some people are. I'm too famous to be talking back to all of these fans and everything. But no, they'll get right with you. So,
and that's another thing. Meek Mill, and not to say it's true, but you're dating Nicki Minaj. She's been accused of the same thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it true, but she's been accused of that same thing that Drake has. They're both cash money. But
there are pictures with Nicki Minaj sitting on Drake's lap, and there's a lot of pictures out there that you would think that Drake did some things with Nicki Minaj, so Meek Mills could kind of be jealous or mad about that. That might be where all this stemmed, honestly, in my belief, but I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah.
But you can go ahead and move on with the next one.
The next topic that I have is all of this stuff that came out about former WWE or F wrestler Hulk Hogan, who is still my favorite wrestler of all time. He's definitely the most famous, I would say. He was the first one to make a career after he was done wrestling in movies and all kind of different other things.
That's for sure.
And I guess a tape came out from one of his ex-girlfriends making comments saying nigger and stuff about other races and other racial slurs against different types of people. And WWE cut all ties with him, took all his videos down.
Took everything off their websites.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan is a legend in wrestling, and they took everything off.
This is what I think about this. yes, he was 100% wrong. There's no denying that.
Mm-hmm.
But my problem is this. He didn't say it on social media.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say it to a black person. So my problem is, you're a liar if you're sitting in front of this computer or phone or wherever you're watching this video on and say that you and your family or close friends have never talked about other races in the privacy of your own house. You're lying. Everybody does that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make you racist, but everybody does that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody sits at home and says, Arabic people do this, black people do this, white people do this,
Mm-hmm.
Mexican. It doesn't make you racist. I feel like everybody does that. Don't lie to yourself. Your family does it. And I feel like he wasn't saying it directly to a minority or a black person or something. And this person that filmed it, they wanted money or something.
That's why they released it,
Right.
Whoa, Hulk Hogan! I gotta release. This is
Right. It was a
definitely
former girlfriend. I'm
cause
sure she was pissed.
controversy. She probably wanted some money from it. The first thing people do is release stuff to like TMZ because they know they'll get paid for it. But yeah, I do agree with what you. I feel like everybody talks about everybody. That's not something that's gonna change. This unfortunately got released to the public, so it's gonna hurt Hulk Hogan a lot. But yeah. Okay. So I got one more topic to bring to you guys. This is the last one. And if you haven't heard about this case by now, you've clearly been under a rock because you don't even got to be on social media to hear about this. So I'm talking about none other than the Sandra Bland case. So Sandra Bland, African American woman, gets pulled over by a police officer. There's a little bit of combative discussion going on. The officer asks her to put out a cigarette in her car. She replies by saying, "Why do I have to put out a cigarette in my own car?" At that point, he asks her to step out of the vehicle and puts her under arrest. I know, right? What is she being arrested for? Putting out a cigarette in her own car. But he takes her off camera. There appeared to be sounds and also, some things that's going on in the video. You can tell something is going on, like a rustling motion. But he appears to, or apparently he slams her head into the ground. But it came out that the charge for her arrest was resisting arrest. How can you arrest somebody for resisting arrest and you had to have resisted first? Yeah, it was kind of confusing. Then he went back and said that she kicked him, apparently. But the main thing is, she died while she was in prison 3 days later. Mm-hmm. So they ruled it a suicide. Most of America thinks that it was a homicide by people's comments. I personally believe we don't really know what happened, but they did say that she got depressed very easy. And I feel like it's not ruled out that she didn't commit suicide because she could have been depressed for being falsely arrested and in jail for 3 days. The inmate said that she was saying all these things about how somebody hadn't picked her up yet, and she was crying over and over again. So there are some underlying things that we don't really know. But I'm gonna just say that I don't really know if they ruled it a suicide. It's most likely a suicide. It's just very tragic the way some people talk about it. There was a girl on Fox News that said that she should never be in the predicament because a cigarette was probably a weapon against the cop. A cigarette. It's just a lot of different talk going on about it. I don't know what to say. It's just very tragic that she was there to begin with. But go ahead.
Yeah, I think, that's what I'll start with. First of all, she shouldn't have ever been there.
Mm-hmm.
That police officer was wrong. That police officer.
Yeah.
Now, people making all these claims against the department, I think you have to hold on a minute and see what happens.
And wait till some facts come out.
Because
yeah.
One example is some of y'all thought that she looked dead on the mugshot. The police station released the video of her alive in the police station
today,
taking the mugshot.
Today.
It's like, and you don't know what a depressed person might do. They may commit suicide. They have trigger moments.
Mm-hmm.
Getting arrested may have been a trigger for her. Having all those phone calls and nobody coming to help, or them not allowing anybody to come to help, may have been a trigger.
The thing is, we don't really know what happened. It's just tragic that she, lost her life over this whole thing.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me that if it's true that they killed her, that they will wait till Monday morning. Because the person that did the autopsy and everything said she died Monday morning. They wouldn't wait. They do it right away.
Mm-hmm. And there is a separate investigation going on. Mm-hmm. So they're going to see if the coronary guy, whatever he is, coroner. Thank you. They're going to see if his prediction was right. And it's probably going to come out that she committed suicide. Honestly, I just think it's really tragic. But there is a separate investigation going on. If there did turn out to be foul play after this, then I feel like the police department should be, everybody within the police department should be under some type of, investigation as well, because you don't know who dealt with what in there, really. I just hope that no foul play or anything comes out of it,
Yeah, I hope so too. But that concludes this episode of PCFP. Thank you for watching, and please continue to watch.
A little long today, but it was some really beefy stuff this week.
Yeah. Please continue to like, subscribe, share, do all of that stuff.
Comment, and invite some friends to watch. I know you're a fan. If you're watching the video, you're obviously somebody that appreciates it. Invite somebody else. We want to hear what you have to say. Comment and do those things and share it. We want more people, to be viewers.
Yeah, so if you guys have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. If you want us to have somebody else on to give their perspective, like a female or a person of a different race, let us know. I think that'd be interesting. So with that being said, have a good night. Thank y'all for watching.
We're out.